This is ASS Breaking News.
Allah Akbar! Allah Akbar!
Good evening. I'm Brock Jurgensen, filling in for Assman Bin Licken, who's currently on assignment trying to pin down Ligma Johnson, the recently fired employee from Twitter after CEO Elon Musk took over. Speaking of Ligma Johnson, we are joined by Philip Rector, who is a reporter with the Washington Post. Philip Rector? Philip? Oh, there you are. We're having some technical difficulties. So you have a producer who unfortunately is over the age of 80. That's the best we could do here at Ask News. But Philip, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
Philip, tell us a little bit more. But you are one of these. The backstory is that Elon Musk announced that he is going to. Well, I wouldn't say announce. It was reported that Elon Musk is going to be charging $20 per month for verified accounts on Twitter to basically keep and maintain their blue check. And then he reduced it to $8, announcing on Twitter. There have been many blue check accounts who have spoken out against this particular move, saying they're never going to pledge money to a billionaire. Obviously, you have been focusing on this story the most, but as a blue check verified account, what is your take on this?
Let me first say that, yes, you should never give money to billionaires, especially ones like Elon Musk and others who buy media companies, quite like Twitter or the Washington Post, and charge $1 or $2 a month for you to subscribe to them. Do not give money to billionaires. Don't do it. On your second point, I think $8 is way too low because that means anyone can get the blue check. And that really stampens our status on Twitter. And as you know, Twitter is our lifeline. He might as well just, label us and then start gassing us on there as a blue check. We hold our status dear to us. And without it,
hold on,
pretty much nothing. How is it that anyone lick my taint at Ass Lickin' can get verified for $8 a month?
Hold on, sir. Did you just say you meant to say gaslight, right, Philip?
No, like gas us, because when you start paying the $8 a month, you actually get this little nice ban that Elon sends to all the journalists. It actually goes pretty well with my shirt and everything as well to label who's a blue check and who isn't.
So now being a blue check is considered a stigma.
Yes, I think so. It's here to demonize us, to try and unhuman us. And it's a very dangerous time right now to be a blue check, especially a journalist blue check.
What is your thought on Elon Musk deciding that maybe Twitter is going to loosen some of these restrictions on quote unquote free speech?
Honestly, that right there, it takes away free speech in of itself. Because if you have somebody who is trying to post a story and then you get quote tweeted to lick his mother's asshole, it makes you a little bit more hesitant to tweet out more stories on Twitter. So I think it's going to silence more people for allowing more people to say what they want on Twitter.
Well, I can understand the fear it would be to be a journalist logging on and have some random account telling you to lick their mother's asshole. I mean, that has happened to me personally. Terrifying. As an incel, that's very terrifying.
Yeah, it's inhumane. It is inhumane. The only people that should be allowed to have information and post whatever information they want is journalists. Outside from that is just, killing democracy, not in darkness, but in quote tweets and licking people's asses.
Man, what a dark time it is to be a journalist and a blue check at that. Final thoughts from you, Philip Rector. What are your thoughts on Candace?
Candace. Who's Candace?
If you are getting the guardrails off the truth, where it literally cannot catch up to the lies on the internet because of how the pipes work, how the system works, because of the incentives of the richest people in the world, then that's how you lose your democracy.
Of course we'll accept the outcome of the election. Always have, always will. R-A-H-R-O. L-I-G-M-A. Yeah. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
What's going on, Habibis? I'm Siraj Hashmi.
And I'm Jay Kobbe.
And we're the Habibi Bros. Welcome to another episode of Habibi Power Hour. Although, Jay, it's looking like we had a name change. Who's Sugma? Who's Ligma?
Ligma.
Bofa?
Bofa.
Yeah, Bank
Johnson?
of America. Oh, look at you putting the shirt on.
Well, of course, this is a family show. Hello.
That is
We've
true.
been
This is a
asked
family show.
To slow down on our drinking and to stop swearing because
Yes,
family.
we are absolutely, essentially 100% cleaning up our act.
Oh, absolutely.
Welcome.
Make sure that everyone is welcome to watch this.
This is true.
Show.
This is a family
Except
show.
Taylor Lorenz. Taylor Lorenz can lick my dick.
Absolutely. That's basically rule number one of Habibi Power Hour is that really.
Absolutely.
Right. Okay. So Habibis, first things first. Before we get into the show, we want to acknowledge one of our Habibtis.
Yes.
Stacy, who is maybe not the recording of this episode, but definitely a few hours is scheduled to receive a new heart. And we are praying for you and praying that all goes well and praying for a speedy recovery. We had promoted her GoFundMe to help fund her getting a new heart. It's probably the only wholesome thing we've done in this pit of degeneracy.
Right.
But,
well, that and also our cancer awareness for the month of September.
Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. That's why Jay has the yellow check on his chest, is because it's to acknowledge Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, right, Jay?
Oh, this is just to acknowledge what's going to happen to journalists here in a little bit. We're going to make sure that we label them with bands of blue checks.
Jay, what happens when I get it? Because everyone still thinks I'm a journo.
Well, you still have your blue check. Are you gonna be paying $20 a month for your blue check?
I don't know if I paid $20 a month, but I'd probably pitch in $8. I mean, I don't really give a shit at this point. I'm not gonna complain about it. I like the status symbol of the blue check and then ironically dunking on blue checks. It gives me sort. It's also it's like a gift and a curse, because most people can see your replies when you reply to them, and so it's good for getting noticed, but it's also bad if you're trying to avoid getting blocked. So, Spencer, what the shit are you doing? You're not supposed to highlight any YouTube chats. That's the second part of this, the second announcement. Habibis, if you go to you are on,
first thing we said, it was
Jesus
the first
Christ.
thing we said.
We literally have the worst producer of all time. I don't even know. He couldn't even bring you in correctly. No, Habibis.
It's okay. He's only been doing this for like 2 years.
Yeah. So Habibis, we got a live chat happening right now on our locals. If you go to the link in the description of this episode. You'll be able to go ahead and log on and check it out. And I have to say, once again, Spencer doing a horrific job at trying to get some conversation going. That's all we needed was to try to keep the chat going. Basically, we're moving away from the YouTube chat, trying to keep things a little bit more, family friendly in the family Habibi chat on locals. So you get basically top priority on there. But I think that's it, right? Is that it?
Right.
Is that
And
it,
then followed by Rumble, and then followed by the rest.
Perfect. How you doing, Habibi?
I'm doing wonderful, Habibi. I actually got a fresh new bottle of Angel's Envy I'm about to crack open right now, too. What are you drinking tonight?
I have a Mountain Dew Zero Sugar Baja Blast.
Zero Sugar Baja Blast.
Yes, Baja Blast.
You are like a 22-year-old.
Jay, I'm gonna finger Baja Blast you later.
Well, you can finger Baja Blast me anytime you want, baby. Especially if it's sugar-free.
Especially if it's sugar-free. Gotta keep the calories down. This actually will burn enough calories for the both of us. So why don't you have headphones on? Is it because you have an audience in the background?
No, I have somebody here. It's not like a full audience. I got Ryder and I can see them because I got the blackout going.
Wow, Jay, that's racist. It's racist, Jay. Is your Ethernet going to shut out on me?
No, it's not. It's totally fine.
It
It was funny because it took me 5 minutes to untangle that fucking thing to get it going. It's a pretty long Ethernet cable.
Yeah, you're the reason why that Ethernet cable is the reason why we're running a few minutes behind.
I know. This is the second time I was late. The second time I was the reason why we were late.
So used to coming early.
Well, yeah, I come fast and come early. 15 minutes early.
Nice. So Habibi's, what was I gonna say? You're
going to the first topic while I go make myself a drink.
Wow. Okay. So
and I can hear you because I got the speakers on.
Oh, look at you. So with that being said, Elon Musk has completed his takeover of Twitter. And very first move was firing the CEO. Was it Parag Aranha? Was it Agrawal? Parag Agrawal, the chief legal advisor. I think it's Vijaya Gade. Vagina Gade.
They got rid of their legal counsel, Vagina.
Yeah, so she is the Twitter employee who made the decision to ban Donald Trump from Twitter in January 2021. And then there's a third Twitter.
She was also the reason why they banned the Hunter Biden laptop story.
Oh, she's the reason. She's the reason for that as well.
She's part of the everything that gets censored on that platform. She's a part of it, or she was a part of it. So, and it was insane. Like to go back now and watch that Joe Rogan episode of her and
Tim Pool and Jack Dorsey
on there, you can just see how full of fucking shit she's always been. Full of fucking shit the whole fucking time.
It's so if you recall what happened during that particular podcast with Joe Rogan was that Vijaya Gade tried to make it seem like the policy about transgender people and people being misgendered was considered standard policy within their terms of service about, whether they, suspend a particular account who calls a trans woman a man, or says that calls them he instead of she. And Vijaya Gade just could not rack her brain around the fact that, as Tim Pool pointed out, that she is injecting progressive politics into the Twitter terms of service, and she couldn't even recognize that. It was absolutely stunning, because obviously there are people who don't agree with that you can just, chop, as Jay would say, chop your dick off or chop your titties off and call yourself a man or a woman, even if you were born a boy or girl. Shit doesn't make sense, right? To a lot of people. And so Twitter basically tried to institutionalize this particular idea that you could just, claim to be whoever you want, say that you identify as a woman when you were born a man, or vice versa, and you be granted basically the full protections of, well, I agree that people shouldn't be harassed for doing it, but for Twitter to essentially
100%
inject progressive politics into their platform without even being aware of it. To me, to this day, I still don't get it. I still don't get it.
They're aware of it. No, that's the thing. She's playing stupid.
You
They're
think so?
absolutely aware of what they're doing and what kind of agenda that they're pushing. They're just playing stupid. They know that this is a very that they are amplifying and pushing progressive policies and ideas and the agenda from the left on their platform.
Mm-hmm.
It's the reason why you had the laptop story banned, because they said some stupid shit like it was hacked material, but you got hacked. You would get hacked tax returns being blasted all over Twitter on the story, and nobody batted an eye. They didn't put that down. They didn't put the same policy across the board. They never do. There's only one side that really gets the ban hammer, and it's 95% of the time coming from the right that they ban. When that happens,
it's only lefty accounts that get the benefit of the doubt,
or publications who are sending stories that amplify their agenda. When's the last time right now that we saw any COVID misinformation warnings on a tweet?
Since Elon
took over. Before, if you tweeted out masks don't work, they'll either fucking straight out ban you or put a warning underneath your tweet. Now they don't do shit.
As it should be. What's the biggest problem? And this is something that
from the fucking beginning, because, and like you were saying, no one could have an open discussion on Twitter about any of these policies or about any of these about the vaccine, about masks, about how they really work or if they don't work. You get shut out. So it trying to claim, and Jack being on there as well and trying to claim it's an open platform for people to have discussions was always bullshit. And she was the biggest bullshitter of the whole thing. They were openly banning any discussions that did not coincide with their agenda. And it was all agenda based, and it was all agenda pushed. She is not some innocent fucking fuckface who doesn't understand what she was doing. She knew exactly what she was doing.
I know that she knew exactly what she was doing. What I was just saying was that maybe, and look, we probably already just discussed this, is that maybe I'm just a retard and I just don't understand what you're saying when you first say it. So anyways, from locals, Dan from last night says no more Vijaya. Does this mean Twitter gets no pussy? Well, given how Elon Musk has more children than Nick Cannon, yeah, maybe. I don't know. But obviously the worst news out of all of this is coming from Jennifer Rubin, our queen, who, by the way, still has not agreed to join or come on to Habibi Power Hour. Jennifer Rubin, if you are listening, and I'm sure you are, because why would you not watch us? That's incredibly Islamophobic. So basically, our queen says, let me put it this way. I will leave Twitter rather than pay Musk a single dime for anything. And that's what caused me to start this. A GoFundMe to save Jennifer Rubin's Twitter account.
Okay, and what and how much has been donated so far?
Actually, let's check. Hold on. I will try to. Oh wait, why am I?
You can just click on the link right now on the window that you have open.
I just did, Jay. I just decided to share a tab.
Not open it in a new window. Just click on it, let it open right here on this window.
I don't know why it doesn't let me open up on a single tab, Jay. This is so far beyond me. Okay, it's a boomer moment. I gotta get a drink.
Holy fuck! There's already $52 donated.
Oh, there are, so far 52 people have, alhamdulillah, pledged to keep Jennifer Rubin's Twitter account on life support. But I think it's important to know, for everyone to know, that Jennifer Rubin really is the life force of Twitter. And if she goes, it's as I put in the description, it's the end of Twitter and democracy as we know it. So feel free to donate $17 if you're watching. Anyways, Jay, with all this happening, a lot of people are giving Elon Musk shit, AOC chief among them. Have you seen exactly what AOC has said about Elon?
Yeah, I saw the tweet.
You saw the tweet? Let's go ahead and take a look at it, shall we? I have it pulled up right here, and hopefully
there's so many of these people have been like melting down completely over any sort of rumor or announcement or anything that's been coming out from it, and it's fucking hilarious.
AOC tweets out LMAO at a billionaire, earnestly trying to sell people on the idea that free speech is actually a $8 a month subscription plan. Mind you, this woman graduated with an economics degree from college. Elon Musk responds by saying, your feedback is appreciated. Now pay $8.
That's too good.
That's so good.
And it's hilarious. It's hilarious because you can still use Twitter exactly how you've been using it. It's $8 a month for the verification that
is so-called being said. Like none of this has been announced. None of this has been announced officially or anything like that. But all of these people are losing their shit and pretending as if you need to have the blue check in order to use Twitter.
Right. It's insane. I mean, just the fact that she doesn't understand that you don't need to pay in order to say what you want to say. I mean, Jay, you have been banned 14 times from Twitter. That's never stopped you.
No.
And yet you keep coming back. Like my herpes. Anyways, from locals, Master Thief says free as in speech, not as in beer. So
I would love, I mean, that would be really cool if you got free beer with paying $8 a month to use Twitter.
I mean, wouldn't it, Jay? That'd be pretty.
Absolutely.
That'd be pretty awesome.
You get 3 beers a month.
3 beers a month. Anyways, let's continue on. What else did we miss? Oh, the White House getting fact checked. Did you see this, Jay? This is beautiful. Oh, go highlight that comment, Spencer. I swear to God, if you just. Oh, yeah, there we go. Thank you, Dan. Dan from last night on Local says, speaking of misinformation warnings, Twitter put one on the White House tweet today, and they deleted it. So let's go ahead and take a look.
Oh yeah, they deleted it after it got fact checked.
So let's go ahead. So this is the tweet. Seniors are getting the biggest increase in their Social Security checks in 10 years through President Biden's leadership. Now, Twitter, they didn't realize that they could basically Twitter didn't realize the monster that they were creating by allowing people through, what is it called? Is it Birdwatch? Is that the particular?
Yeah, that's what it is. It's called Birdwatch.
And it allows users of the platform, it could be anyone, if they get accepted, they get vetted, they can go in and basically flag any tweet. This seems like a particularly new feature, right, Jay? I don't know if I've ever.
Yeah, this is the first time I've seen it actually being used like this. Like I've never seen a more label or like more context in this manner. Maybe they've done it before, but this is the first time I've actually seen it implemented on my timeline. Yeah,
I haven't seen it before either. But anyways, the fact check states readers added context they thought people might want to know, in which they quote the Social Security Administration website, the actual official government website here. It's ssa.gov. You can't say that's like anything different. This is exactly like that. The fact check reads, seniors will receive a large Social Security benefit increase due to the annual cost of living adjustment, which is based on the inflation rate. President Nixon in 1972 signed into law automatic benefit adjustments tied to the consumer price index.
That's so good. It's so good. Through Biden's leadership, and it turns out it was their worst fucking nightmare. It was actually given to them by President Nixon.
It's insane. It's honestly, it's not, I mean, it's beautiful too. It's beautiful as well.
It's very beautiful because it just goes to show this is exactly what this whole administration has been trying to do from day one, is take credit for things that have been in place before they even took office. Every shit that has happened in the United States and for families across the country has been because of them. Any good thing that's been coming out has been because of somebody else before these fuckers took office. And it's fucking hilarious to see it happen in real time like that.
I think
go ahead. What's even more hilarious is that it has to be random Twitter users on Twitter to fact check the White House, and not fucking journalists that get paid for this shit.
Yeah, how is it possible that users on Twitter are doing a better job at journalisming than actual journalists?
Well, they're too busy with donkey dick in their mouths.
Makes me think that it's all by design, Jay.
Oh, it absolutely 100% essentially is by design.
Here we go. Mountain Dew Baja
These journalists are not real journalists. None of them have ever been actual fucking journalists. They haven't been. Biden goes on live and lies repeatedly. I mean, this administration is on par with how much the Trump administration has lied, and we don't see the same type of professionalism, if you want to call it that, from journalists at all. The one thing that the Trump administration has really done is taking the blinders off from a lot of people on what the media truly is. And it is a fucking player for political reasons. That's what they are. They use these experts. They use they choose not to report on stories or give you the full information on purpose in order to push different narratives and agendas. And we saw that all through COVID. And we're seeing that all through the trans issues and stuff like that as well. They choose to hide information, or choose to mislead you with information, or choose to be silent when the White House is completely and utterly lying to you.
So there are a lot of ways that we could pivot to the conversation, Jay, based on that nice little rant. Thank you very much. Let's do this quick segue, okay? Because you mentioned the pandemic. Well, the Atlantic this week, they published an article. I don't know if anyone had a chance to see this or read this, but it's one of those things that when you see it, You kind of want to bust a tit. Is that right, Jay? I think, or is it pop a nut, or is it rub your coochie?
Well, our nuts are too small. Our titties are a little bit bigger, so we bust a tit.
We bust a tit. So this article from Emily Oster says, "Let's declare a pandemic amnesty," in which she says we need to forgive one another for what we did and said when we were in the dark about COVID. And Jay, I don't know if you had a chance to actually go through this, but basically she makes the case that, you know, forgiveness of like every single bad thing that happened, specifically about the people who made the decisions, is warranted. You gotta let it slide, Jay. You can't get all wound up in that shit. You know, you just gotta say, Habibi, it is okay.
Fuck no. That is the absolute best counterpoint to these fuckers and people like her who write these type of fucking stories. Because if you go back and see her tweets on COVID and all that kind of stuff, like she is one of the bad people who have been tweeting shit and saying shit in order to demonize people who didn't want to get the vaccine or who didn't want to mask, who didn't want to lock their shit down or take their kids away from school.
Right.
She's one of the main perpetrators on this shit. So fuck no. We are not going to forgive any of these fucking people. We're not going to forgive them for demonizing mothers who wanted to take their kids to school, for cheering on mothers who were arrested for taking their kids to fucking to the park, who said that you're a grandma killer if you want to take your kids to the fucking zoo, who said that if you're not masking up, you're wanting everyone to die, who cheered on Andrew Cuomo as some heroic figure over the way he handled COVID in New York, for siding with the teachers unions, for closing down schools for 2 years, for making sure that there were millions of businesses closed forever so you can make sure the economy went to shit for fucking 2 years and we're still recovering for it. No, we are not forgiving any of these people. The best mercy we can show them is prison time. And if it was up to me, we would bring back public executions and hang every fucking one of them. Fauci needs to be in prison till the day he fucking dies. Okay. No, we are not forgiving any of these fuckers. Not at all.
One thing
0% chance.
One thing I want to point out, this particular graph says these precautions were totally misguided. In April 2020, no one got the coronavirus from passing someone else hiking. Outdoor transmission was vanishingly rare. Our cloth masks made out of old bandanas wouldn't have done anything anyway. But the thing is, we didn't know, which is absolute fucking garbage bullshit. Because, Jay, as you and I both know, Fauci, the NIAID, the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, as well as NIH, the National Institute of Health, funded all the research at the Wuhan Institute of Wuhan Laboratory, the Wuhan, what is it? The Wuhan Institute of Virology. Yeah, Wuhan Institute of Virology, and basically tested in what they call what's the word I'm looking for, Jay? It's a genetic modification. What were they? They
were modifying the virus. Yeah, so they were
weaponizing it.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can say weaponized.
But sure, what else do you do with a virus if you're just trying to genetically modify it? You know, are you trying to see if
it's for different types of research, but then again, you can't give them the benefit of the doubt for how much they fucking lied about what was going on there and what they were doing and how they were funding it. So probably you're right. They were trying to weaponize the virus instead of doing tests on different ways to amplify the infection rate. And not only did they do that, but also, and how it's not a bigger story and how people still view Fauci after the emails were released between the director of the NHS. Is that what it is? Yeah, the director.
Fauci?
Not just Fauci, the other guy.
Oh, what's his name? Was it is it Francis?
I think it's Francis. It's the guy who played the guitar and sang that stupid fucking song. between them who are trying to silence.
Francis Collins.
Yes, and they were trying to silence other doctors and scientists who are saying all of this shit is bullshit. Your 6 feet bullshit stuff is bullshit. Your masking is bullshit. Your fucking zero transmission on the vaccines is bullshit. And one thing that we really have to hit on is how everyone was parroting that there will be zero transmission if you get the vaccine.
Right.
When there were zero studies made on this. When they say we didn't know that it was going to be zero transmission, but they were saying it as it was fact. She says we didn't know. But they were stating it was fact that you're safer if you're masked. They didn't know. They're stating as fact that it was safer if you were 6 feet away from each other. They didn't know. They were stating it as fact that kids were going to get it and die. They didn't know. And when we were 6 months into this, we started getting more and more data that all of the shit that they were trying to force in policy-wise was bullshit. And the way that they fought it was to silence anyone who was stating that they were bullshit, instead of allowing for more discussion and data to be released over this. So forgive them? Fuck no. We will not forgive any of these people, and we should not. I swear to God, what needs to happen right now, what really needs to happen, any politician, I don't give a fuck if they're Democrat, Republican, or whatever, if they come up and they start really saying that they are going to push to hold these fucks responsible that did this to the United States for 2 fucking years and did this to students from school, they will get my vote. I don't give a fuck who they are. And if they like really promise it and honestly go for it, this is the message that really needs to be hit on as we get closer to November, is that anyone is going to really say we're going to hold these fucks that lied about COVID responsible, who are in the government, who ran these policies, who destroyed people's lives. Like this is I would think would put more fire under people in order to get them out and actually vote.
Jay, fuck the thought lost. I lost the thought. Something. Oh, great, Jay. Your rants have once again thrown me off. Anyways, here's Ernie. This is what I was gonna say, Jay. I said with Ern as our president, he will be sure to send all those bureaucrats to the gulags and inshallah hold trials for them so that they inshallah will be publicly executed. Inshallah, under President Ern.
We need to throw fatwas on every one of these fucks. All of them. I mean, a slow hanging or a quick death is too good for them.
No, that's right. They honestly, and look, I know people are going to be taking us seriously, and good. I hope they do, because Jay essentially 100% means what he says, and Ern would absolutely sick one of these bitches. No, what I was gonna highlight here was this article sent to us on the locals live chat. This is from January 2022, and it says that nearly half of them say fines, prison time are appropriate for questioning vaccines. And if you read through the survey or through the article, it says 59% of Democrats who took the poll were in support of a theoretical government policy which would confine those who have not been vaccinated to their own homes unless it was an emergency. And overall, 61% of all respondents were against the policy.
59% of Dems are fucking retarded. I mean, it is insane how well they are trained to just completely accept a narrative pushed to them, said by the experts or their politicians. It's mind-boggling.
Mind-boggling. Mind-fucking-boggling. All right, I know we kind of got off on the I know we kind of got out of order here, and of course, Jay, because of my dementia, tonight in particular, I haven't been really with it, but it's okay. It's okay because I'm just going to blame the vaccine, and hopefully we get banned from YouTube once and for all. Anyways, now, in addition to what this pandemic amnesty is all about, if there was a big story that dropped this week through The Intercept, and I gotta say, I was not expecting this at all, Jay. And I'm not saying I didn't expect this. I definitely expected this. I'm talking about the ACLU condemning, actually basically doing something that they were designed to do, which is try to protect free speech. So the ACLU finally saying something that they were supposed to say about, every single thing that happened in the government, and just would never shut the fuck up about, like, protecting illegal immigrants or I should say illegal aliens, because that's the legally correct term, or fighting for, saying Black Lives Matter or Trans Lives Matter, basically throwing their weight behind all these different political movements. The ACLU tweets out, the First Amendment bars the government from deciding for us what is true or false online or anywhere. Our government can't use private pressure to get around our constitutional rights. I have to say, Jay, this is one of the things that just struck me as odd, because if you think about what this particular article is saying, and this is from The Intercept, written by Lee Fang and Ken Klippenstein, what you're saying right now is that these leaked documents are showing that the DHS, Department of Homeland Security, attempted to, well, actually not attempted, but succeeded in suppressing speech online and elsewhere by colluding and working with big tech companies like Facebook and Twitter and Google. And Jay, I just have to point out here that this is the literal definition of fascism. Okay, this is not like the hyperbolic definition of fascism. This is what fascism actually is. So while people on the in corporate media and part of the that liberal elite ruling class are talking about how fascists are all Republicans and they're trying to take over, well, some Republicans are fascists. Don't get me wrong, and some Republicans do this exact same shit as well. But this is like just textbook, Jay. This is textbook fascism.
No, it really is. And also, the dangers of this coming from a Democratic administration or Republican administration are huge. And you will see the emails are that the people who work in these companies are reaching out to them as well. Not just waiting for the FBI or the DHS to question them or ask them things. They're reaching out about these different stories and stuff as well in order to suppress the information. And when you see stuff like that, honestly, there needs to be repercussions on these companies for it. And there needs to be regulations where they are not allowed to be propaganda agents for different administrations that come into power in our government. This is levels of like China communist fucking government levels of interference and propaganda.
Yeah, no, this is.
Then you're not
really
going to be. You're how are we? There is no way now. There is no way now that you can really justify having any kind of confidence in any stories you see online, on Twitter, on Facebook, posted by these publications. None. You cannot have any confidence that you are reading any sort of truth on any platform anymore.
No, you don't know. But I just want to highlight some of the key points from this story. Was that if you remember, several earlier this year, DHS put together the Disinformation Governance Board that was going to be headed up by, I believe, Nina Jankowicz. You know Nina. Jay, do you remember Nina?
Who's Nina Jankowicz?
You don't remember Nina Jankowicz? Here, let me try to refresh your memory. Let me see if I have something here. I thought I had something here.
The only women I remember are all the mothers I've eaten ass of. So Dan's mom, Fuzzy's mom, Damien's mom, Spencer's mom, Ben Morrissey's mom.
And these are all people who not only
Steve's
work for
mom.
us, but also
I remember all their names.
Yeah, you're so thoughtful, Jay. Why can't I find any of these videos? Because here we go.
Oh, no. What's her name?
Hold on, no, shut up.
The disinformation person.
The disinformation lady. Give me a second.
I remember her. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, this one.
I ate her mom's ass too.
Hearing is really quite ferocious. It's when a huckster takes some lies and makes them sound precocious by saying them in Congress or a mainstream outlet. So disinformation's origins are slightly less atrocious. It's how you hide a little lie. It's how you hide a little lie. It's how you hide a little lie. When Rudy Giuliani shared bad intel from Ukraine, or when TikTok influencers say COVID can cause pain, they're laundering disinfo, and we really should take note and not support their lies with our wallet, voice, or vote. Oh, information laundering is really quite ferocious. It's when a huckster takes some lies and makes them sound precocious by saying them in Congress or a mainstream outlet. So disinformation's origin seems slightly less atrocious.
Beautiful, wasn't it, Jay? It was
absolutely gorgeous.
All right, back to the story. Nina Jankowicz, she was going to be heading up the Disinformation Governance Board. Once it was revealed of what the type of person that Nina Jankowicz is, which is basically a TikTok, a TikToker, right?
No, a complete fringe leftist.
Well, I mean, there's that too. But anyways, they dissolved the Disinformation Governance Board and fired Nina Jankowicz. But that wasn't the end right there. They specifically, this report through FOIA requests found that there are actually documents revealing that the work is still ongoing. It's just more beneath the surface. And what DHS, which by the way is the worst federal agency, they have been targeting inaccurate information on the origins of the COVID-19 pandemic and the efficacy of COVID-19 vaccines, racial justice, the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan, and the nature of U.S. support to Ukraine. So if you are a student of history, which I'm sure all of us are, the first thing that comes to mind is the FBI and how they targeted any subversive behavior when they first kind of came about. It was started off with during like the Red Scare against communists, and then it translated over to basically the civil rights movement, and then it went after Muslims, and now it's being targeted after like basically freedom-loving Americans. Basically anyone who doesn't want the government to fuck with them. So one of the most interesting aspects of it, and this is honestly, I had to go and check this shit for myself, is that Facebook created a special portal for both for DHS and government partners to report disinformation directly. And I had to go and actually see this shit because I still can't believe it. I don't know. I just had it up here. Fuck. It was there. It was there, Jay.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
I saw it with my own two eyes.
Ready. We're always ready. We always got it a click away.
I mean, yes, we do have it a click away, but of course I'm a boomer and I just, where the fuck did it go? Did they take it down? I don't know. But either way, there's a presentation here that's listed as confidential, in which the government reporting system shows its ties to Facebook and how they're going to report disinformation on a social media platform. So, Jay, what I'm saying is we need to shut this shit down.
Absolutely. Anything, I mean, from now on, really, you, as a reader, as a person who's looking for information and stuff, it is now impossible for you to find any truth really on any of these platforms, be it from your own government or foreign governments abroad as well. Because the one thing you really have to understand, and this goes back to vagina, is that there were a lot of blue checks.
Wait, vagina or vagina?
Vagina. And a lot of blue check journalists out there who are trying to make her out as a free speech hero, while Twitter was allowing the Ayatollahs and Chinese officials on their fucking platform, while they don't allow their own users on the platform itself.
Right. So this
they don't
actually...
give a fuck. They never gave a fuck about free speech for the marginalized people who don't have a voice. They never did. They care about money. They care about getting that money.
Sweet.
And the thing is that allowing Chinese officials and Ayatollahs on here and stuff, and then they ban the president of the United States, just goes to show you how full of shit they've always been.
Right.
Every one of them. And you never saw any of these blue check fuckers call them out on that kind of stuff, because they are totally okay with this type of shit, with Facebook having this portal, with Twitter having this portal, as long as the administration is somebody they vote for. It is somebody that they are donkeys, little bitches for. They're okay with it.
All right. So thanks to the Habibis, Anal Schwab, and Master Thief on Locals, they sent the link to this page I'm showing you right now. It is Facebook's website, Facebook content requests. This is what I was referencing earlier that I couldn't find for some reason. They had it linked in the Intercept article. But it is the request secure access to the Facebook content request system. And if you saw the presentation that I had just shown you before, we jump over to that because I'm a boomer and I have to like jump between the two. Why don't I just share the fucking window, right, Jay? What's wrong with me? Here you go. You got the Facebook content request.
Now, right now, we will go way beyond 69 minutes.
I know, but we got the Facebook content request system. Facebook content request system. Jay, that's no coincidence. That's exactly what it looks like. Right?
Right.
So, am I going crazy here?
No, Habibi, you're not going crazy.
I need to watch this one more time. What?
It is happening right in our faces, and it's happening with smug smiles that we are being lied to and we are being manipulated by the government, and the media is fucking complicit with it. They're complicit with it. This right here, if Trump was doing this in his administration, this would be a national story for fucking 4 years.
Right.
We would not hear the end of it.
And also
we would never hear the end of it. And the fact that none of them have really stepped up and went to report on this, we still don't see. Did we have any report of this finding outside of the Intercept?
Yeah, we had it from Aaron Rupar, who tweeted "Cry More" in response to Leighton Woodhouse, who says the absolute epitome of the media industry is Li Fang dropping a blockbuster story of national importance, and the response from journalists on Twitter is to line up to scold him for appearing on Tucker, which is exactly what Aaron Rupar did.
Right. And the funny thing is that you had reporters and other blue checks saying that Li Fang hates Tucker and hates all the people that vote for and vote that way and all this type of bullshit and blah, blah. Then why was it that Tucker was the only one that reached out to him?
It's actually quite fascinating because there's basically been zero interest in the story, but it's actually incredibly important and it actually impacts all of us because we can all become not just victims, but we are at the mercy of the federal government telling us that the sky is they're going to tell us that the sky is like, shit stained brown when actually it's, shit stained green because I had some really spicy Indian food that night and had to throw out a pair of undies.
Do you know what cuisine really doesn't get a lot of credit? Pakistani cuisine.
I made some.
It really doesn't.
Made some kofta kebabs last week for the office.
It really is.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
No, they have this lamb green curry dish. I don't know the name of it, but it is.
Is it Zog?
Yeah, Zog.
That's what it is. It's Zog. It's so fucking good.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
It really is. I mean, Indian cuisine. The only reason why Indian cuisine is as big as it is because white people helped them.
Wait, what?
The only reason why Indian food is as big as it is because white people.
Oh, because white people helped them. Okay.
Yeah, because the UK, like the Indian food came on the map because in the UK they had to whitewash it a little bit in order for it to be as big as it is. Like buttered chicken, you don't find fucking buttered chicken in India. Buttered chicken's not even a fucking real Indian dish. It is 100% invented in the UK. So what needs to happen is you need to whore yourself out to white people a little bit more.
Exactly. Just do it. Just whore yourself just a little bit more out, right? Speaking of horror, Jay, I think it's about time. Let's zoom out here. Give these people a show. There we go. Very nice. Yes, this is part of the show. In order to get us to put clothes on, you have to sub to our locals where, unfortunately, we're also shirtless.
Right. I mean, sorry, locals, but yeah.
Yeah. And I just hope that the locals chat has to subject themselves to this. Speaking of shirtless people attacking your eyes for no other reason, Paul Pelosi was attacked with a hammer this past week by a man in his underwear at 2:00 in the morning. Huh?
Said a rubber dick hammer.
It was a titanium dildo, Jay. If you think about it, Jay, anything's a dildo if you're brave enough. Let's be honest.
That's exactly right, and I think they were that night. I think they were pretty brave that night.
If you're bold enough, that hammer. That wasn't just used to hammer Paul Pelosi, if you know what I mean. He got nailed.
Got nailed.
Actually, hold on one second, Jay. I got something I want to show you.
Oh, I want to see this.
No joke. I have this hammer I got from my wife. And I don't know if you can read the inscription on it. It says, "I love getting nailed by you." I found the murder weapon, Jay. I've had it this entire time, which means I was in Paul Pelosi's house. I was actually the one who was. I'm the gay escort.
You're the shirtless hippie dude.
I am. Honestly, I am David DePapsmear.
David DePapsmear.
David DePapsmear. Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about that. So the Nancy Pelosi attacker, I'm sorry, the Paul Pelosi attacker, let's not forget, it was not Nancy who was attacked. If anything, it was David DePap who was concerned about the whereabouts of Nancy, where he allegedly said, "Where's Nancy?" And Jay, I'm not gonna lie. Basically, the very first day I saw this, I thought to myself, "Wow, that's horrible. this seems oddly specific in terms of the timing. And Paul Pelosi, he's over 80 years old. What, 82 years old? Let's just get into. Hold on. This is actually a good time for it. I don't know if you have yours.
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, I have mine, and it's kind of looking a little rough right now. I probably should get a new one. I probably should make a new one. Hold on. Let me just turn off the background blur so you can see the shaft. There you go. So Jay, when I was reading up on this story, there are just a number of things that we got to talk about. One, seems oddly convenient for the husband of the Speaker of the House to get attacked, and then the immediate narrative is that, oh, it was a MAGA Republican who attacked Paul Pelosi. All right, that's the first point. Okay. Secondly, everything that they have said to us, or at least the corporate media has reported, they basically said that there was this, like, it was a break-in. This guy was a radicalized MAGA Republican screaming out, "Where's Nancy? Where's Nancy?" He's trying to kidnap Paul Pelosi, hold him hostage, try to kneecap Nancy Pelosi. And the entire time I'm thinking, why would Nancy Pelosi put a hit out on her husband? I mean, I guess she's ruthless, but your own husband, Nance?
That's a new level.
It's a new level.
That's a new level.
Really, this woman will do anything to get power. And you just got to tip your hat and say, all right, Nancy, good game. GG. So, I don't know, Jay. There's a lot of things that are weird about this. Let's talk a little bit more about it, though, because
right.
that's not the only one, right?
No, it's not. And one of my favorite things, but I want to say that quote from Rumble real quick. So Rumble, Quest for Five, saying, every time I hear about Pelosi, meaning Paul Pelosi, he's hammered.
I mean, show me the lie. All the stories.
There's no lie there.
No. That's why I think that, Nancy, she did this to get back at Paul, saying, how dare you cost us this election? And then, actually, you know what? This is going to help Democrats somehow gain some sympathy because Republicans are a threat to democracy, right, Jay?
Absolutely.
And you had Joe
That's
Biden.
Exactly right.
You had Joe Biden.
And the funny thing is how the media is reporting on this stuff. Like Political itself reported that there was like a third person there. And then after a while, they were like, and then Republicans were saying baseless reports on a third person being there. And it's the same publication, the same one.
This
Political.
This is perfect.
There's a side-by-side that you can find.
Yeah, it was Steezy. Steezy posted this. This is absolutely beautiful. I think I bookmarked it, but of course.
And then the Washington Post with that fucking banger saying, releasing the video will just further conspiracy theories. You don't need to release it.
What? I did not see that.
You didn't see that? It was a Washington Post analysis post that honestly said releasing the video would just further push conspiracy theories.
That is
because the Capitol Police have a video of the guy going into the house.
That's right. So the Capitol Police had video of the guy going into the house. They were monitoring it, according to the ABC News report. I'm sorry, Washington Post first reported that detail. My bad. But how does the Capitol Police not even see that shit? Like, even if you want to believe everything that they're saying, Capitol Police, again, fucked up by letting Paul Pelosi's gay lover into the house without at least, going saying what's up to them first, bringing them some coffee or, you know, a hand job or something like that. Right? I mean, Jay, if you're entering someone's house, you at least give them a hand job before you enter, right? That's what you've always done at my house.
Well, not just a hand job, but a reach around while I lick your asshole.
Exactly. So
No,
so this is
the Washington Post. This is the Washington Post release. I mean, read that shit. Read it.
Anal assists. Release the video is mostly a way to extend the conspiracy theory. Who wrote this? Honestly, click on it. I want to see who wrote it. Is it our queen?
And it's no, that's not going to be. It's
Damn
not
it.
going to be her.
Why wouldn't it be our queen?
It's fucking hilarious that democracy dies in darkness, guys. Said it's better to keep that shit in darkness,
Philip
or democracy dies. Of course it's Philip Brump. Of course it's that motherfucker. I swear to God, journalism is just a failed industry on doing what it said it was supposed to be doing. It's a failed. It's a failure. 100%. Essentially a failed fucking industry.
I mean, it is. Yes. Why can't I find this?
And none of them are held accountable. The only time a journalist is held accountable is if he tweets a funny joke about women. That's the only time they're held accountable. And that's what happened with David, whatever his name is, from Washington Post.
Dave Weigel, right?
Yes. That's the only time they're held accountable. That's it. They post like shit stories time after time. Has the Atlantic, the editor-in-chief from the Atlantic, has he ever corroborated his fucking bullshit story on when Trump was talking ill about fallen veterans?
Right. That's never been corroborated once. And yeah, he's Jeffrey
Not
Goldberg.
Fucking once. And nobody demands truth from the guy. Journalists and journalism do not hold each other accountable.
It's a mental, Jay, at this point, it's a mental illness. All right. So let's look at this. This is a Politico. Let's just look at the highlighted part. This is from Stephen L. Miller, aka Red Steezy Habibi, says among those baseless claims, he doesn't say this, Politico writes, among those baseless claims that a third person answered the door when police arrived at the Pelosi home, which San Francisco law enforcement has said is untrue. And then here's the catch. Or I'm sorry, that was the shot. Here's the chaser. This is from a Politico story, literally like from a day or two before. It says officers arrived at the house, knocked on the front door, and were let inside by an unknown person. They discovered DePape and Pelosi struggling for a hammer. This is, Jay, this is literally from the fucking police. The police saying this. It's not like just some random report. It is the fucking police. The official
same
story.
Publication. The same publication.
And the same,
what
this is the
baseless
same
report? What baseless claims? They're quoting you fucks.
Anyways.
Holy shit. And instead of stating like we were wrong and we were and among further information that came in, there was no third person in the police report. Instead of saying that shit, they want to pretend like other people claiming this stuff are the crazy people.
Yeah. So here's the big thing about this, okay, Jay? Because I know a lot of people are going to be like, "Oh, well, what does this really mean? What is this? What's the whole point of all of this?" Well, here's the point. I don't know if you want to call this a right-wing attack on the husband of the highest ranking Democrat in the House and third in line for the presidency. You know, if you want to believe the story about what they're telling you, that's fine. But you have to take a step back and realize that the timing of all of this is incredibly suspect. And the fact that they're doing this specifically to try to paint an entire segment of the population as, you know, this rabid bunch, like they're all animals. All they want to do is attack and kill you and hold you hostage. The fact that even I think there was one tweet, I think from NBC, one of those local affiliates, saying that that David DePape, he had zip ties on him, echoing January 6th. Like that's what they literally said. They're trying to find they're trying to tie this guy to basically everything that is wrong with their political opponent. And they assume.
Dude, Rumble just went down.
Really?
I'm trying to go to rumble.com.
Yeah, I see it's still going on mine end. Yeah, it's still going, Jay.
Why is it? Dude.
At least everyone in the Rumble chat, let us know if the stream went down for you. If it went down for you, then I guess tough titty. That's the boomer thing on our end.
No, that's weird. Why did it go down?
Yeah, Rory says we're still here.
Interesting.
All right,
Why
Jay,
is it down on my side?
Probably because you have boomer internet. You're in an Afghani
I
cave.
don't have boomer internet. First
You-
of all, I'm still
Jay.
on here. I'm still hello. Hi everyone. You can see me just fine.
Again, Afghani cave. What are you gonna do?
That's where I am. I'm gonna go get Ryder. So you guys can see Ryder the dog.
Okay, I didn't even finish my fucking point, Jay. You interrupted me.
Oh,
okay?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right, let me first read this comment from Roy Mesker on Local. It says the speaker's husband's gay lover just attacked him. Now you guys just got to stop running your negative ads. Look, there's a.
That's right. That's right. They were trying to pin this on a fucking ad from the GOP from 10 fucking years ago.
Oh, that's what it was?
It was 10 years ago.
I didn't even know that.
Man, it is fucking insane
There was
how fucking bad these people are trying to pin shit on Republicans on this. It's
so
fucking insane.
While you get Ryder, I'm going to pull this up because the list just went out this evening. Thanks to Ben Morrissey for getting on that. Let me show you real quick. Okay, so this is the list for this week. We're probably going to bring list streams back, but I haven't really decided yet, so we'll figure it out. This is where the fuck is that tweet? Here we go. Ashley Parker, who is also at the Washington Post, tweeted last year Kevin McCarthy joked that if he became the next leader of the House, it will be hard not to hit Nancy Pelosi with the speaker's gavel. Then on Friday, a man broke into Pelosi's house and attacked her husband with a hammer. Yes, Kevin McCarthy instigated this act of quote unquote violence. Right, Jay? Did you find Ryder or no?
No, I did, but he's a pretty big dog, so I don't know if I can get him up here. Come here. Oh, ow. Don't bite me. Come on. You guys can't see him, can you?
No, we can't see shit, Jay. For all we know, you have someone in a gimp outfit trying to jump on your lap.
Come here, Ryder. Ryder, come get snacks. Oh, you can see him.
Oh, hi, Ryder.
Oh.
He
He's a big dog. Like I can't pick him up like you can
with Ernie. He's still laying here.
Come here. Come on. You can come up. Can you come up? Come on. He's trying to get the snacks I got for him.
Okay, so
it's like we don't feed you at all, huh?
Yeah. Oh, look at that pup. Good dog. You don't have to pick Ryder up. It's okay. Oh, hi, Ryder. Oh, hey, dog. How you doing, Ryder?
All right.
What a good dog.
Don't you fucking sneeze on me. Not in my face.
Do it, Ryder. Be a hero. Be a legend. Sneeze in his fucking face and bite his balls off.
Oh my God, he probably would.
I would enjoy that. Okay, one thing.
Good doggy.
Jay, I have to say, I think you and I were both shadow banned.
Shadow banned from what?
Twitter.
Oh,
For sure, we were shadow banned. I mean, we get so much more
engagement.
What's it called? Engagement now.
It's insane, and it's not people just flooding the platform. Like people are starting to say, "We're seeing you on our timeline again." And there was one person who I don't know if they were I don't know if they were genuine or not. They said, "I thought you were dead." I mean, I'm dead inside, yes, but no, I'm still here, and unfortunately for many of you, still alive. All right. Michael Schellenberger tweeted out this article from a Substack saying, "I'm the first reporter to get to the bottom of the story, which has far more to do with drugs, homelessness, and pedophilia than QAnon anti-Semitism and January 6th. I had a chance to read a little bit of the story. I mean, the guy is psychotic. Don't get me wrong. I think his political leanings probably did. It was a minor factor in his.
Oh yeah, it had nothing to do. It had nothing to do with any of this.
But
nothing.
Hold on, Jay. What's this whole story that apparently Paul Pelosi knew this guy? Do you know what have you heard about that?
Well, I mean, it's mainly because of the way they call it, like he said it was a friend.
Right. Said a friend.
He said it was a friend. I mean, we
underwear.
don't know if he was really under distress or anything like that.
In his
but
underwear.
the whole thing is still kind of suspect. And the way that they're trying to pin it on Republicans is an absolute fucking farce in of itself.
I just find it amazing that they immediately jump to the conclusion. It's what is it called? It was like Reddit holding him, glory holding him. They're trying to put him in a pigeonhole the guy and characterize him for what he is based on his social media history and what he's posted on politics. And it's always it just becomes one thing or another. And so like you said earlier, Jay, it's only the right who gets blamed, and everyone on the left just gets a pat on the back, or they get the benefit of the doubt. It's getting really fucking old. I'm kind of tired of it.
No, it really is.
And it gets old because you have the president of the United States still getting in on it. Joe Biden, in a speech tonight, this is what he said.
There's an alarming rise in the number of our people in this country condoning political violence or simply remaining silent, because silence is complicity. The disturbing rise of voter intimidation.
Okay, I know it's a little bit of snippet right there, but I could probably find more clips, or maybe Spencer can do his fucking job and find more clips on Twitter if he really wanted to. Although he's probably not going to, because again, we have the worst producer on the planet, right, Jay?
Absolutely, 100%.
Essentially. So, but this is the last segment we'll discuss before we get to our favorite segment, Ask Us Anything. Joe Biden is going out and giving the final message before the midterm elections happening next week, and that is, you can't vote for Republicans because Republicans are a threat to democracy, and any vote against the Democrat, you're voting to end America as we know it, or the country that all the founding principles are standing on. I don't know what the fuck he's trying to say. It's all bullshit. Don't believe a word he has to say, because honestly, Jay, no one gives a shit about January 6th. What are you doing, Jay?
Right. Nobody does. Zero people do.
You got someone
funny article over on The Guardian,
Jay,
where he went to Virginia and he wanted to ask voters about January 6th, and he's like, and I found out nobody gave a shit about January 6th. And I'm like, no fucking shit. Giving a shit about January 6th is going to do nothing for people at the pump. It's going to do nothing for people getting jobs. It's going to do nothing for people about inflation. And it does nothing for them about their kids going to school. Nobody gives a flying fuck about January 6th.
No one gives two shits about January 6th. Every single
unless they care about my birthday. Other than that, because I am the Armenian Jesus,
you really are.
That's when they're going to give a shit. Armenian Jesus was born January 6th. Google it.
Okay, all right. Sorry, I don't want to. I'm not trying to question Armenian Jesus over here.
You shouldn't.
I mean, I probably. It doesn't matter. So with the midterm elections happening in less than a week, we got obviously some pretty big races that are, if you looked at the early voting count, not looking good for Democrats. In fact, I would argue that it would take basically all the cheating that they did in 2020 to make up for those losses, which, hey, very well could happen. I was going to say, look, everyone's going to, the amount of cheating that they're going to say,
Election denialism is going to become patriotic in the media.
Yeah.
Watch it.
So Jay, next week, I've already come up with the title for our election night stream. It's the 2022 midterm election denial special.
Perfect.
in which we deny that the 2022 midterm election is even happening. It's not happening.
That's how it's going to happen. Dude, I promise you that is what's going to happen. We are going to see the same fucking blue check pieces of fucking garbage who were stating that questioning the 2020 election makes you election denier and makes you a threat to democracy. Question the elections. Every one of them. They were going to question them. They're going to say it's your patriotic duty to question them. All of this absolute garbage bullshit that they were trying to demonize people for the last 2 fucking years over.
Right. And it's impacted me personally because for those of you who are aware, my wife was involved in the election integrity efforts of 2020, and they responded by trying to go after her license, her bar license. Luckily, she beat that shit, and look, that shit was not cheap, okay? I'll just give you a ballpark right here. Like, we're looking 6 figures just to defend herself, okay?
Fuck.
That's what these fuckers did. That's why I have no, people wondering, oh, Siraj, what happened to you? Like, this is what happened. They came after my family, and that's when I realized the types of people that they are. And you know what? Fuck them. Fuck all these people. I have no respect for anyone who promotes their values and act like they're holier than thou, and then turn around and try to punish any of their ideological opponents.
Yeah.
It's fucking bullshit.
Absolutely is. It's 100% essentially bullshit.
Rory Metzger on Locals. I'm going to just highlight this one because I thought it is good. It's under banners. Now I'm going to get all boomerish here.
Go for it. I need to go pee.
Oh, of course you are. I'm going to type this out. Nice. That's not peeing unless you're peeing right now. Oh, fucking A. Spencer beating the shit out. Literally. But you clicked on mine. Roy Metzger says, damn, Siraj, you have a literal who radicalized you? You did story. Yes, that's who the fuck radicalized me. I let that be a lesson to all of you. They are all of these people that are running the show. They're all fucking snakes. I'm like literally giving you the 411. Like I know a lot of you think or believe this already, and I'm just telling you, your beliefs are affirmed. Maybe take the case of me and my wife as an example, but even just by look, a year ago, I had a family friend. You probably know his name. You probably know what he's said and what he's done. There's a guy that I used to break bread with, and I thought his family and my family were good. And next thing,
I didn't wash my hands.
Welcome back, Jay. I'm literally in the middle of telling a fucking story. I can't believe you. Why would you do this to me? Anyways, I was talking about Wajahat.
Oh, Wajahat Ali?
Yeah, I was saying basically this whole, like, if you look at this comment from Roy Metzger, that damn Siraj, you have a literal who radicalized you. You did story. About a year ago, Wajahat basically tried to use what my wife did in 2020 as ammo to attack me and try to expose me to his Twitter audience that's like, at this point, like maybe at least double mine. And we've talked about it we've talked about it at length a year ago, but I just want you to know that, like, it's literally people within your circle who would throw you under the bus simply because you don't agree with them on politics. Like, people have seen this happen during COVID. They saw this happen during the election. I'm just telling you, I've never really said this before. Like, I mentioned the Wajahat story and all that stuff. People saw it happen in real time. But the thing about people going after my wife is that they literally tried to bankrupt us. They did. And Jay, you've been you've hung around us long enough to kind of, like, she's told you the story about all that stuff. And I mean, it's amazing how the corporate media tries to smear someone, because if any of you have met Emily, you would be like, wait, this is the person that they're saying is like a threat to democracy and like literally someone who can was trying to overthrow an election. Really? This like sweet young lady, like it's insane.
Really?
So people wonder like why I've like made the decisions I did. People wonder why Jay and I still continue to do this shit. It's because look, someone has to say something. I don't think you and I, Jay, are like, we're two retards who just so happen to like have a knack for this stuff. We enjoy talking about it. We enjoy each other's company and we enjoy the jokes, but like most of all, like it's calling out the bullshit. And
Right.
I think for a lot of people who don't realize, like, while we might look like people who are on the sidelines, we're still very much like involved in this shit. And it's one of the reasons why I decided that I had to, get an actual job and work at Rumble, because the whole the mission of protecting a free and open internet is something that I truly believe and value. And I'm sure many of you who are watching do as well. And even if you don't agree with anything I have to say or anything Jay has to say, no one should be punished or have their livelihoods lost simply because they said it. It's absolutely insane that you have people constantly deplatformed left and right for saying things that, like, they would have their entire YouTube channel demonetized for simply questioning the government's policies on COVID lockdowns. It's just, it's all, everything you've seen happen in the last 2 years. If you go back and watch every single Habibi Power Hour from then until now, and you could basically see the transformation, at least in me. Jay, you've always been somewhat this. Jay's been consistent. Jay has been very consistent on this. So I'm just going to tell you this, and we're going to get into a few predictions because I'm not trying to like get everyone like down and just let you know that like this is. I'm not trying to make this about me. I'm not trying to make this about Jay. These people have fucked all of you. This is not something. This is just like literally one example of these people fucking you. Okay. I want to talk about how, at least in the next week, it is so imperative that you don't listen to the establishment, the corporate media about anything that they say to you. And maybe you do listen to them, but at least like give it let it swirl in your brain.
Benefit of the doubt.
Don't take everything you hear at face value. Take it with a grain of salt. It's okay to just stew on it and question it. You know,
right.
With this
and that's not just from like CNN or MSNBC, but it's also from Fox News. It's also from all of those other places. Like, take it with a grain of salt. Try to find your own information out there. I mean, I know it's hard, especially with how much it's being manipulated from honestly all sides. Like, it's being manipulated very, very strongly to push you into a direction that they want you to go to.
Right.
But at the most, try not to take it at face value.
Right. And anything you like, look, there was I saw like one of these Twitter banners. I don't know if I saw it on my phone, took a screenshot of it. I don't know if I saw it on the desktop, but it was one of those things where even though Twitter is Elon Musk is the CEO of Twitter, Twitter's still doing things to try to influence this 2022 midterm election. And they're doing it by simply saying, oh, wait before you say anything about the vote. Like, it's still being counted. Like, okay, but it's fine to wait. But what Twitter has done in the past is that anytime people have questioned, hey, why the fuck is this taking so long, like it did in 2020, these people are immediately suspended, or they're basically hit with strikes or reported, have to take their tweets down. That is obviously censorship. It's the silencing of any information, anything that could question. Look, people have been doing early voting, in-person voting, and there's also been mail-in voting. And there have been people complaining about other people watching them, like mail-in voting watchers, to ensure that there's no abuse or cheating at these mailboxes. Like, they're stuffing ballots, and they're going to cry, this is voter intimidation. Jay, what the fuck? Like, if you are complaining about more transparency, maybe you're the fucking problem, and
Absolutely.
You're actually up to something that you shouldn't be up to.
Oh no, absolutely. And it's so funny to see that. I mean, especially when it comes to like voter ID laws and shit like that too. We saw President Biden himself go up and show a voter his ID in order to go vote. Not only that, we have record turnout in Georgia on voting where it's supposed to be suppressed as fuck.
I thought it was Jim Crow 2.0, Jay. That's what I was told last year. Didn't Atlanta lose an MLB All-Star game simply because of that law? Huh.
They did.
You see what happens?
And the thing is, the media that pushed those lies are not held accountable. Every one of those fuckers need to be fired. They need to be fired off. That's it. You're a fucking liar, and you're pushing lies.
Jay, no, hold on. All of them, Jay, hold on. They all need to be jacked off.
Thank you very much for that.
Of course.
I need to be jacked off right now, too.
That's true. So let's wrap this up. Let's put a bow on it. Real quick predictions, Jay. Let's just go through some of the races, not all of them, the big battleground states. What do you think's happening in Pennsylvania? John Fetterman or Dr. Oz? Who's going to win that one?
Dr. Oz.
I think Dr. Oz too. That Fetterman debate performance last week, I don't know how he survives that. But I will say this. I'm not going to say that Fetterman is not going to win, but if he does, we all know the reason why, right? We all know the reason. We do. I'm not Jay. Show me the fucking lie. You have to be smoking crack. Jay, you either have to be smoking as much. You either have to have the great brain capacity of John Fetterman to vote for him, or two, the latter one, which they banned a lot of people for in 2020 because of something that happened there.
Exactly right.
Yeah. Let's move on. Georgia. We got 2 races. We got Herschel Walker and Raphael Warnock in the Senate, and then we have Brian Kemp and Stacey Abrams for the gubernatorial election. What do you think there, Jay?
I'm thinking Kemp gets it. I think Warnock just squeezes by.
No, can't. No, it's going to be down ballot red. It's going to be Walker and Kemp. I don't think people are going to split their ballot on that. Arizona, we got Katie Hobbs, Carrie Lake gubernatorial election.
I want Carrie Lake to win. I think she's going to, especially because they refuse to do a debate. They refuse it. Absolutely refuse it. And the person who's dominating the news right now is Lake.
I think the Lake's benefit. The upside for Lake is that she's constantly talked about in the news, and that was a huge boon for Trump in 2016. Okay, another one, Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer versus Tudor Dixon. This is I know Dan.
I think Whitmer wins that one.
I think Whitmer wins that one too. Although
especially because Dan is like campaigning for her. Gonna vote for her, pushing really hard.
That's why he took her last name, right?
Yep, Dan Whitmer.
What else we got? Oh, New York, Kathy Hochul, Lee Zeldin.
That one's gonna be. I
think that's a pipe dream. I still look. I hate Kathy Hochul just as much as the next person, but New York is just so deep blue.
It's really hard, especially after she said what she said about doing it again to healthcare workers and shit like that. The New York gets what they vote for. New York gets what's coming.
New York deserves it. Look, this is one of those things where, like in Georgia, Brian Kemp, who is an absolute garbage human being, sucks ass, and Stacey Abrams equally sucks ass. So I'm of the belief that whoever wins that race, Georgia deserves it. Fuck him. Who gives a shit? All right, real quick. Any other Senate races that are up in the air? We got Arizona, Mark Kelly and Blake Masters.
Oh man, Blake Masters is coming up. I don't
think
that one to me. That one's a real toss up.
That is a toss up. I don't know what's going to happen there, but
but Blake Masters is coming up.
I think honestly,
and what's really insane is Tulsi Gabbard actually endorsed Blake Masters
and Carrie Lake. So, finally, House predictions. How many seats do you think is picked up? Spencer says Nevada Senate. I haven't actually been focusing at all on the Nevada Senate race. I think Spencer has some Nevada bias, and he just wants to throw shit in there to try to be an instigator. That's how I think, right? Spencer, you can hop in here and prove why Nevada Senate of all things. He's gonna choose not to do it. He's gonna just like continue to say, "Oh."
To say was that it's just been getting a lot of talk in the news because with the way that all the races looking like they're going to split. Pennsylvania and Georgia are probably going to split. And there's one that's going to split that isn't Arizona. There's a second one that's a very tight race.
Mm-hmm.
We've been looking at Nevada, possible or Ohio. I think it's Ohio and Arizona are going to split, and then Nevada's kind of like what's going to happen with it. So,
well, look, I don't doubt that there will be splits, but I don't think it's going to be overpowering enough like it would be in Georgia, for example. But I don't know. I could be wrong. I think Jay, you and I are probably both on the we both have the prediction that the Republicans are going to take the Senate. I'm sorry, the House. Do you think they're going to take the Senate as well?
I mean, there's promising lookout for now, but I mean, these might be a little too late. We'll see how it goes. I mean, I think 100% they're going to take the House, and I will
tell you this:
65% sure that they'll take the Senate.
So one of the things I will say is this, and this is probably like the one thing that I can see happen, at least in this midterm election, is that with midterm elections in general, youth voter turnout is historically low. It's always been the lowest between the 18 to like 34, 18 to 25 demographic, whatever that, the youngest crowd is. And they typically almost always vote Democrat. The early voting numbers have not been favorable for Democrats. And these are Democrats have always been big on early voting, right? Like they've always been, vote early, vote often, because the often part we all know is how they won in 2020, right?
Right.
But look, I don't think there is going to be as much cheating this time around, simply because you don't have a full-on national election. You have these Senate and gubernatorial and congressional races. And with everybody's guard up, it's going to be much more difficult to try to cheat like they did in 2020. You also don't have any COVID lockdowns like you did in 2020. So mail-in ballot voting or mail-in voting is just not going to be the same level as it was in 2020. More in-person voting, or at least more in-person voting percentages than mail-in voting. Roy Metzger on Local says Siraj is purposely avoiding Florida so he doesn't have to tell us he's voting for Christ. Honestly, I respect it. Anil Schwab says GOP House Dems hang on to Senate. I don't know, man. Look, it's a 50-50 split right now, and Democrats in the swing states are, I think, down either 3 or 4 seats, something like that. Roy Metzger says, I love that Siraj just straight up says they cheated in 2020. Now, well, like, look, if this is how they treat people who simply question the integrity of the election, if that's how they treat people, that's the tell right there. Why would they try to do that if they didn't cheat? Why would they try to bankrupt a young, thick attorney? She is thick. Why would they try to bankrupt her if they did everything by the book? Why? Doesn't make sense. Shit doesn't make sense. Anyways. Wow, Jay, we went for an hour and 43 minutes. We're still going.
That's insane. Well, that's our predictions for these midterms.
I would say we would do it and ask us anything, but honestly, we've gone for way too long. But join us next week, Jay. I think we're going to be doing, I don't know where I'm going to be, honestly. I have no idea if I'm going to be in California or if I'm going to be East Coast. I'll let you know. Things have yet to materialize. But if we end up being in California at the same time, we're going to try to do an election night special 69ing each other, right?
Oh, yeah. We're 69 all day long.
Right? 69ing all day long.
69.
Mastriano versus Shapiro in Pennsylvania. I think Shapiro takes that one. I think Pennsylvania votes down ballot. Oh wait, hold on. Who's the Republican in that? Did I say Shapiro? I meant Mastriano. Sorry. They both have names that end in O. One's Jewish, the other's Italian. You know me, Jay. I get those two easily confused.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially if they're Jewish Italian. Then I'm like, which part of you is Jewish? Which part of you is Italian? And they'll probably just point to the speckle and say, oh, well, on the day I was born, and that's when I forget about it. Anyways, Habibis, thank you all so much for joining us tonight on Habibi Power Hour. Thank you, Spencer, for your help or lack thereof. Jay, thanks for chiming in here. Thanks for showing us Ryder. And to all the Habibis tuning in, thanks for supporting us. Hit that like and subscribe button. And if you are on the Rumble or YouTube chats, just letting you know, we are giving priority to our locals live chat. There is a link in the description of this video. You want to join that? We're going to keep it open for a little bit longer just so you guys can continue to chat. But if you subscribe and support us on locals, you also have the ability to join our Habibi Discord server where we keep the conversation going, keep the jokes flowing. And because we got a YouTube super chat from Chris Kinder, I'll read it here. It says, are you guys going to try to get Gavin Newsom off your election night gig? Well, if we are 69ing, there's a good chance Paul Pelosi might show up. So, Habibis,
bring a hammer just in case.
Man, I'm bringing my hammer. This shit's coming with me. But of course, you know what end's going in. That's right. It's this end. This end's going in.
Yeah, that's the one. That's it.
All right, Habibis. I've been Siraj Hashmi.
I'm Jay Kobbe.
And with Habibi Bros, y'all have a good night. We'll see you next week. Election night special. Make sure you go and vote. But of course, don't be a bitch. Don't be an idiot. Vote for your actual interest. Don't be one of these assholes like, oh, go vote because it's the cool thing to do. But if you vote my way, you're cool. If you don't, fuck you. You're a fascist. Anyways, fuck you people. If you're all libs. if you don't vote the way we tell you to. All right, peace and Masalama.